Hello, my people. Welcome to my experience with your host, Kumi Diamonds. Today, I have a very touching story on a topic that most people don't talk about. But I'm sure you're going to enjoy it and you're going to have the confidence to come out if you have experienced something like that. Last week, I met this lady. She's called Terry. She's from Kenya. And she said, Kumi Diamonds, I've been hearing about my experience and I've watched it on YouTube. Please, I would like you to share my story and save someone out there. So we had a sit. And I said, okay, let me hear it. What is your story? She said, I grew up in a Christian home whereby we're trained to know that you have to remain a virgin until you get married. So I was a virgin throughout until I was ready to marry the love of my life. So, on my wedding day, a friend of mine slept at my place. I was with my friends in my family house so that we can get ready for church that morning. So, on the wedding day in the morning, one of the girls or one of my bridal maid that came, I needed her to take something to my groom to be. But she didn't know her way, so I decided to walk her to the bus stop. We got to the bus stop and I was on my way back. She left, so on my way back, I saw this car parked with 3 guys inside. Just when I was passing them, they grabbed me from the back and put me in the car and started driving, started beating me. They used clothes to choke my mouth. I was putting on jeans. They started pulling my trouser while the car was moving. The first person raped me. The second guy raped me. And the only time that car stopped was when the driver wanted to come and rape me. So he came and the other guy took the wheels. At that point, she said, I was weak. I was confused. I couldn't cry. Neither could I move. And I was like, God, how can something like this happen to me on my wedding day? She said when the third guy came, he brought his manhood and put in her mouth. So out of that anger and bitterness, she bite up and chopped up his manhood. And because of that, one of the guys got upset and took a knife and stabbed her in her tummy. Now when they stabbed her on her tummy, they threw her out of the vehicle and drove up. She fainted. It took a while before the police people could get there, because people were even scared to come to her. She was naked. You know how rapists behave when they rape a lady. So the police people came. They thought she was dead. They wrapped her up and took her to the mortuary. Just when they were about to put her in the fridge, she coughed. And they were like, oh, so she's alive. So they took her back to the hospital and took her to the hospital from the mortuary. They got to the hospital. And she said when she had the doctor's voice, it was a male. She had this rage, this hatred. And she started screaming. She didn't want to hear a man's voice. Neither did she want to see any man in her life. So they had to trace her family, trace the husband, because the husband thought she has abandoned him on the altar. And they came to the hospital to meet with her. Now, the saddest part of this story was the fact that her womb was ruptured because of the stab. So they told her she can never have a child again. So tell me, this kind of a situation. She said it took her 6 years to start talking about this experience. She couldn't talk about it. She was ashamed because she had seen previous rape cases whereby the people will judge you. The society will judge you. They will tell you, what were you wearing? Were you wearing a short dress? Were you not drunk? What were you doing in that neighborhood? People don't care about this, the pain you go through, about the psychological trauma girls and women that go through rape go. The boys are out there. They've not been arrested. They're all over the place. So she said she took her 6 years to talk about it, and today she shared it with me and said, please, Kumi Diamonds, share this story. Encourage our women to come out and talk about this thing and seek help. She said, I hated anything that has to do with a man. In fact, I didn't want to talk to a man or even see a man. I was in my own dark place. I don't know where you are right now. I don't know if you are in a dark place. I don't know if you've been raped before. I don't know if you are ashamed of the societal stigma, but my sister, talk about it. Free your spirit. Be strong and be confident, because I know when you talk about it, the more awareness we create about rape towards women, the more we save our world and make it a better place. So I'm sharing her story with you today. If you're out there and feeling ashamed, today she's doing very well. In fact, she has gone on conferences, on seminars, on workshops, on TV, on radio, and has shared her story to many. And a lot of girls have listened and they have learned. It is not your fault. If you have been raped before, it is not your fault. It can never be your fault. So talk about it. Seek help. And there are people out there who will assist you and walk through with you in this time of trial. Thank you. This is my experience today with Kumi Diamonds. And I'm sure you've been touched, you've been inspired to come out of your hiding place. You can check me up on my Facebook page, Talita Kumi Ibrahim, or my official Facebook, Official Kumi D. Or you can check out the Sickles Production Facebook page and our YouTube, Sickles Production on YouTube. You can subscribe, like, and share. Thank you very much. See you next week with another experience. You can also send your comments. If you have an experience you want me to share, you can drop it on our Facebook page. Thank you and have a lovely week.